It's Hildibrand time. I don't know what to tell. Hold on a second. It should be fine. It should be working. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Fuck if I know. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Should be good. Yes. I'm pretty much just playing for myself tonight. Theoretically, I could even just put something on in the background. You guys won't be able to hear it, but I'd be able to hear it. Yes, that is what I would consider a plan. We're just doing some Hildibrand. Doing more of the Stormblood Hildibrand stuff. Maybe we'll do some other stuff. We'll have to see. Anyway. Red is good as always. Also, I have some alcohol. It's just Mike's Hard. Mike's Hard Strawberry Lemonade. Thought I got the strawberry pineapple stuff. Oh well. The straw. Okay, I should not have just put the straw in the bottle. It's not panning out for me. It's not panning out for me. Keeps falling. Gonna step aside for a second. The straw was useless. And I gotta turn on my table. Like, I don't usually have it on except for when I'm streaming at night, so. Alright, well, you have fun with that, Nekama. You have fun with that. I did some stuff on my own earlier today. It's not much, I just got glam. Pretty much. Question is, I think I had, yeah, okay. That. No, I'm watching your stream right now. Nekuma, you have an obligation. Yeah, it's here. Zoom. Well, it just teleports. I think it teleports you there. Okay, no, it doesn't. But you see, I have Kugane as my free point, so I don't even gotta worry. Shut up, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No, but while I was farming for Eden Glam, I was watching AGDQ's Final Fantasy VIII speedrun. That doesn't mean I still can't believe you. It's a mental thing. Oh, I don't know what the fuck was it. Well, if it isn't Naya, looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, have I got news for you? I still can't get over the freaking voice I do for it. So stereotypical. And I forgot about that. I fixed it. There we go. So I've been asking after that wolf burglar fella, the one that left that chicken no claiming credit, you remember? And it seems he's not quite as sneaky as he thinks he is. Oh, he's robbed plenty of rich merchants blind, I'll grant you that. No doubt it was him either. No fails to leave a calling card, this one. Too proud to leave people wandering for even a moment. But folks have laid eyes on him more than a few times. In fact, after talking to all the eyewitnesses, I had enough information to try and sketch a picture of the devil himself. Contemporary art at its finest. It's beautiful. 10. Not bad for a self-trained artiste, what you say? Not hearing a lot of support for the sketch. Right then, back to the drawing board. The metaphorical one, that is. Let's you and me take out and question the rich and famous, the sort of folks the burglar has been targeting, and see if we can't learn something new. I'll head to Kugana Dori, and you can check out the tea house and the hostelry. I know, right? Alphino's been real quiet ever since she shared that sketch. Ah, that infamous thief, I know of him. For mercy is not seen fit to trouble those of lesser means like me and my associates. Perhaps he thought me wealthy because I patronized the tea house. On the contrary, this is my sole indulgence. Were I a stronger man, I would forego it, but alas, the heart will not be denied. Mood. That's what the kids call a mood. Watch go meow. Oh man, there's a range? That's lame. Too long it has been since I shared a pipe with an engine. Unfortunately, no desire for a smoke, only to talk of the wolf burglar. I see. I have no personal experience on what to draw, so I doubt I can be of much assistance. What I know is known to all, but for instance, he's a lone wolf without comrades, and despite their best efforts, Saki Segumi has no leads. Some say this has emboldened the man. Each theft is more brazen than the last. He has even been seen practicing his trade in broad daylight, if you can believe it. Pardon. That is the extent of my knowledge. Now, if you would not favor me with tales of your own, I ask that you lead me to my pipe. It is far less demanding company. Bruh. Yo, he got up there! Yo, my man's got up there. Good for him. Good job, he did the thing. You know, if I was smarter, I'd probably have the ingress and the super dashes set, so it's one of my like triangle, square, X, O buttons. But I don't trust it, so I rarely use it. I said you could got a wolf burglar. You must you surely my ears with that rapscallion's name as I attempt to take a moment to relax and take in the fresh air? Bah! It's no use. The moment is ruined. I too fell victim to the wolf's villainy like so many others. Oh, if you had seen the vase before he took it. Gah! If there was any justice in this world, he would be paraded through the streets and boiled alive in Tenkanto. Bruh. I don't think wolf soup would taste good, especially if you left all the fur on. Like, that just seems like a bad idea. What? Why would you do that? I can't believe it. Here you are! Think of any interesting tidbits? I'm gonna take a sippy. Ooh. Now he's getting bolder by the day, is he? Well, if there's anything I've learned from following the inspector around, it's that overconfidence is liable to get you smacked upside the head by a mum in a magic frying pan. Bruh, Okay. I stretched. That said, we'd have a better chance of catching this wolf if we know who he was eyeing next. No! I forgot what was it? 1,000 pardons, young sir. I did not mean to trample you underfoot. Are you alright? I forgot what voice I gave him last time, so I'm just picking up a new one. lady, I say you must think me in the habit of troubling my fellow pedestrians. Let me assure you, nothing could be further from the truth. I was simply preoccupied with thoughts of my investigation. That's right, you are after the wolf burglar too! Got any leads? As a matter of fact, I do. But I recently learned of a private auction in which many foreign wares are to be featured. While such auctions are not uncommon in Kugani, it has been some time since the wolf last struck, and there are rumors that this auction may include particularly extraordinary items. Much as I would love to converse with you at great length, I really must be going until we meet again. Okay, bye. Wait, Mr. Shiggy, sir, can we come too? To the auction, if you'd like, but I very much doubt you'd be able to afford any of the items to be sold. Oh, don't you worry about that! Naia's got enough money to buy and sell you 1,000 times over! No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Unless he's very cheap. Yes, very good. Then by all means, come with me. Saying. Unless he's very cheap, I cannot buy him. Yeet. This venue has been reserved for the private auction. The guests should be arriving at any moment. I remember you, Master Archibona, was it? Oh, well, if it isn't the Inspectors, I did not know you would be joining us. I think I originally gave him the weird Eastern European accent, but since I transferred to Shiggy Wiggy, I had to give him a new, stupid accent. Oh, I presume you are come to keep watch for the wolf, but should you see anything like those that we have money changers on hand to assist those who wish to spend foreign currency. I know, right? That mustache is so fake, but it's so firmly attached to his stupid face. How does he do it? I must warn you, however, that should we desire the same item, I am not one to surrender without a fight. You're going down, mustache man. I will destroy you. Welcome to you, the posh boys and the student elite. This evening you will be given a rare opportunity to view and purchase, if you so inclined, a selection of strange and wondrous items from all across the world. Without further ado, I give you up first, a queer misshapen fiend captured in the mountainous wilds of Yansha. Free him! It is none other than the fabled Watchman, in the holy union of man and the beast, a demon of legend whose flesh, when consumed, bestows life everlasting. Eternal life can be yours, ladies and gentlemen. So, shall we start the bidding at 500,000 koban? 600! 700! 800,000 koban! Koban, going once, going twice. So, to Mr. Okabuna, let us proceed to the next item up for bidding. He's not really gonna eat him, is he? The search of your emergency was brought to Kugani from the west, the land of Eorzea, to be precise. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, statue does not even begin to describe this extraordinary work of art. fucking music. That's the ice cream on the top. I give you, dear European gentlemen, a masterpiece, nay, a triumph of Western sculpture. Marvel at the intricate details. The feature is so expertly realized that some have likened it to a living, breathing man frozen in time. Well, would you look at that? The statue's the spitting image of Inspector Hildibrand. Could have been sculpted by our fan. Was it a trick of the light, or did that statue just twitch? You mean to say you think it might actually be the inspector, somehow frozen by temporal magics? In that case, I got just the thing to bring him back to the land of the moving. My lady, I beg of you, lest you slaughter these poor people and bring this marketplace to ruin. I suppose you have a point. It would be fair Inspector like to blow innocence the kingdom come. How readily she resorts to balance this woman. I shudder to think what carnage she has left in her wake. When he fell from the sky again. Maybe he's gone into hibernation again or something. This bizarre sculpture is in truth a man. Is such a thing even possible? It's super soft, man. Oh, strange. I do not recall it during an expression of sheer terror before. It was rather much rain, was it not? A very perceptive review. Verily, this is no ordinary statue. It is a hair-facing hybrid of sculpture and automaton. Marvel at the way its features change fluidly and effortlessly. Yes, indeed. So shall we start the bidding for this one-of-a-kind statue at 500,000 koban? 600! Run! 800,000 koban to be paid in full here and now. Stupid fucking face. Just adjusting my light. Ah, it fell. I think that's good. I don't know. Once more, Mr. Okibuna will not be denied. Will any challenge his claim to the Aussie gentleman? We got to do something there. If we don't, these people are gonna buy the inspector. 900,000. Oh, there is nothing in this world I cannot buy. 1,000,000 koban! What is the meaning of this? I like how my expression detection is like, my mouth is small, so I must be doing a smile like this. At least when I'm talking. Okay, now it's not doing it. Bamboozled. What you call me? The Aussie gentleman has vanished. You went just been around in the Kugane Wolf Burger. Oh, I know what voice I'm going to do for him. That's right, Dandoni, he struck again! I saw him! That the fiend with the wolfish features! He took the statue and ran towards the short pier! Do you know what that means? Inspector Hildibrand has been stolen! Kidnapped! We got to go after that wolf burglar! For all we know, he might want to eat him like that poor kid! We can't have that! Yes. Hair's still wet from my shower. Great. So I was farming Eden's Promise Umbra for some pieces I could turn in for glam. And in our party was a brand new Reaper, and the tank, he was like, "Hey, Reaper, play the game." And then the Reaper just put question marks in the chat. It was like, "Look, this is my first time. I'm trying to learn the fight." It's like, and then the tank was like, "Okay, that's fine, but you gotta hit your damage buttons." And the Reaper just replied with more question marks. Naturally, the Reaper got my commendation. You followed me, I presume. Of a mind to pursue the wolf burglar as well. Of course we are. He's got Inspector Hildibrand, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna let some two-year thief eat him. Are you perchance referring to the Erosian gentleman, that hideous statue? I dare say no one in their right mind would try to eat it. But nonsensical fears notwithstanding, I would be honored to work with you to catch the wolf burglar. These Maria claims he saw him board the boat with the statue and head towards the ruby prize. Yar, 'twas a sight I will not soon forget. Never before have I seen a Lupin carrying a twisted mockery of a man on his back. Never again will I expect. I know, right? Too bold was the fiend this day in seeking to claim such a conspicuous prize in broad daylight. Yes, in broad daylight. He has left a trail we can follow. Come, let us make haste to the ruby prize. Like, I think the Reaper was just not... I'm guessing because Reaper wasn't doing big Oonga Boonga damage, the tank was like, are you not even trying? Like, because I saw the Reaper doing attacks. Oh, don't do it, stream. Yeah, that's what I thought. Looks like our connection is being unstable. You behave now. I saw it dip the kilobytes per second dip to like 998. I have the option set so I don't see debuffs that I don't place on the boss, so I don't know. Like, man, we didn't die or anything. So I'm just like, why were you yelling? So like in turn, I'm just like, why are you yelling at him? And also, we've already dropped 1,210 frames. You know what? And it's being a bit of a I don't know if it's... And it's being a bit of a letdown. Although it seems to only happen at night, which is weird. Surely one of the watchmen here would have seen the wolf and the stolen statue. Alas, I cannot say I've seen such a thing. Since the withdrawal of Guardian forces from Doma and the Ruby Sea, there has been a significant increase in domestic traffic. Accordingly, we have been instructed to wave through smaller vessels leaving our waters absent cause. The Zupity speak probably seemed no more than a cursory glance. I see. Thank you for taking the time to explain, and pray forgive me the interruption. We shall continue our search elsewhere. The question is, where would we search? Who else has a reason to keep a close watch on these waters? Da-da-da-da! Seriously, the Confederacy has every reason to note the comings and goings of even the smallest vessels in the Ruby Sea. Their very survival rests on their ability to extract payments for safe passage, the so-called Ruby Tithe. Sakazuki is where we must go. Any travelers who wish to be raided and relieved of their possessions must journey there first to make the necessary overtures. Summon Omega! Here we go! Looking for bandits on a boat, you say? Stop misbehaving, upload speed! Be stable! Stop! Yeah, that's what I thought. As far as I'm concerned, the only bandits are those who refuse to pay the tithe, like that one fellow I spotted not long ago. Why did I stop him, you ask? Because he was dead! Aye, standing motionless in his skiff, paying no heed to the wave or the waters. A dead man drifting. It's one thing to threaten a living man, but what could I possibly do to stop a dead one? Nothing, that's what. No, I only took the reasonable course of action. I let him be. I'm not one to consort with the dead, but if you are, by all means, follow the man to the Isle of Becco. I'll remain here and do my best to forget what I saw. Oh, there you are. A dead man in a boat bound for the Isle of Becco? That's the stupidest thing I've ever... Unless... Aha! Don't you see? He mistook the ordinary gentleman for a corpse! That boat belonged to none other than the Kugane wolf burglar. Oh, what luck! A liaison did mention that we could pay the tithe by way of bringing a trespasser to justice, and I do believe this qualifies. The others on, to the Isle of Becco and that thrice-damned wolf. Oh, okay. Didn't notice you there. Whee! Man, I remember progging O12S like it was yesterday. Oh, the pain. Yeah, there hasn't been any visual scuffage on your end, right? We've got him now! So it seems the wolf burglar was caught by the very people that were trying to catch him. That's not a wolf burglar, that's a furry that's a zombie furry. Comedy forfeit, this is the wolf burglar. This is a dead man who yet moves. A restless spirit bound in its mortal coil by burdens of the soul. Take your pardon, good sir, but my soul carries no such burdens. Indeed, in death I found more liberation than on life, more purpose and meaning, and brotherhood. Wait a minute! You're one of those gentle dead men! What you doing so far from Eorzea and the others? As I live and breathe, it even further reaches a far more self-reunion with Master Hildibrand's compatriot! Oh, I accidentally skipped some of his dialogue. As unbelievable as it may sound, we heard rumors of an island deep in the Siren Song Sea said to be home to a host of undead individuals not unlike myself. Us being a rather lonely existence, resolved to dispatch an emissary to the isle, myself being the logical choice once again. Ah, truly! Well, that would explain why the myriad skeletons we found were devoid of unlife, as it were. That said, even if they were as disagreeable as you as you claim, I shall thank you to stop killing every last undead you encounter in your travels. Anyway, having fulfilled my mission, I was at loss for what to do next. The island was abandoned as it was ever so far away. Just then I felt it, a familiar thing in my rotten flesh. Aye, there was no denying it. Felt the pull of our leader, Master Hildibrand. His ether called to me and I was duty bound to answer. So I followed the trail and it led me to this place. Oh, then it's no coincidence. The inspector and the burglar that stole it must be somewhere here on the island. Good sir, do you still feel Inspector Hildibrand calling to you even now? Can you lead us to him? Pardon. As surely as I can crack open a hapless merchant's head and feast on the goo inside before you can say go! Follow me! By the way, I've been meaning to ask, what's with the wolfish getup? Hildibrand! Hildibrand! It's not the sort of thing a gentle dead man usually wears, though it's quite fetching, I've got to say. It warms my dead heart to hear you say so. I've seen as a kid from a travelling artist. When I explained to him how difficult it was to converse with the common man, he fashioned it for me, believing it would serve to solve the otherwise terrifying features, and so it has. But enough talk, Master Hildibrand needs us. Let's go. Nothing I've heard even makes even the slightest bit of sense to me. But no matter, if this misshapen undead wolfman can lead us to the thief, I shall trust in him wholly. I accidentally sat on my table. Very gross. Da, da, da. Yes, Master Hildibrand is close. We're nearly upon him. And the wolf burglar, at long last, will bring that bastard to justice. Suspicious music. There he is! Wolf burglar, you have nowhere left to run! Surrender! I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what to do for this voice, and it's gonna be terrible for all of your ears. That's when they finally call up to me. Yeah, I gotta do the ooh voice. Cool, it looks exactly like my sketch! Your campaign of feathering comes to an end this day. This day, the Bakufu will have their man. That is to say, the Lupin. There, oh, he's off. Stop, damn you! The inspector's still not snapped out of it, which means it's time for a trip to the nostrils light, bongo style. Bombs! I couldn't get to my cock voice. Get up, you stupid statue! What gonna be on those bombs? If you get rid of them before you kill us both! Ah, pretty.
Oh yeah. Help! No! Not shoot anyone!
I mean, I gotta save Hildibrand. How else can he come back in Endwalker? Don't worry about the inspector. He's supposed to trip back from Dalamud, so this is nothing. Let's get that wolf burglar instead. Did I fucking see my upload drop to freaking 100? Why would it do this? Weak. Maybe I'll have to do a server test later. Told you before, Wolf Burglar. You have nowhere left to run. 4 on the other hand. If that's how it's gonna be, then 4 it is. Never thought I'd come this close to getting caught. Suppose it's all my own fault for trying to nick a hefty prize like a statue. But if the statue ain't a statue, then there's no reason for me to stick around, is there? Better watch next time, thief takers. God, enough of that villain. Okay, bye.
I stand there! I got to expect such a cold calculated behavior from their nature, but not you!
Right, Inspector Hildibrand is back! Not like a brush with certain death to get you back in the game, am I right, Inspector? What manner of sorcery is this? The Orisian gentleman! This statue stands before me, speaking and gesticulating as if a living, breathing being. No. I trust I didn't remind you that I do give such motions might be neither living nor breathing. Pardon. But more to the point, Master Hildibrand is no statue. What right? He's an agent of inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire.
Good sir, by your god, I gather you're a samurai! Am I then correct in assuming we are in the Far East? Oh ha ha! As I wake from gentle slumber, find myself in a foreign land. Who should I be greeted by but a Far Eastern man? But oh, what is this? Already my keen investigator senses alerted me to the presence of a petitioner in need. I must await for honor and justice and a hard-boiled egg!
Yeah, I get that egg. Wait for me, Inspector! You know I can't run that fast! Master Hildibrand looks to be his own self again. Wonderful, simply wonderful. It's enough to bring a tear to this gentle dead man's eyes. Or would be if it weren't, you know. Much as I love to join you in your adventures, I must return to my brothers. I pray watch over and keep our undead overlord safe. So, in Eodia, a man may be an expectant extraordinaire as well as a zombie overlord? Truly, yours is a land of many mysteries and strange customs I dare say I will never comprehend. While I regret that we are unable to apprehend the wolf burglar, I am glad that this chase has seen you reunited with your comrade. Come, let us follow him and see what this keen sense leads to. Up, lift, slide. Face down! Land. 10. Perfect.
Did I not tell you I got the secret scent of a case? And here it is, I give you, the case of the kidnapped Kikir. Simply put, this adorable little fellow's dear friend was abducted by a dastardly fellow found in the nearby city of Kugane.
We sail on ships as sailors for Far Eastern Island on trading company. Dock at Kugane docks to unload the goodly goods. When goodly merchant comes and offers tasty feast to me and friendly friend. But that got me to the Ratman just speak. Kikir, not Ratman, lose man. Why does no one here know Kikir? Always demon with lucky flesh. We go with goodly merchants all alone. Many turns, left, right, left. Very confusing. Then bad men grab friendly friend. Put gag in mouth and bag on head. I fight and run in. And then they run too. And then I jump into water.
It would seem that the guards carried him to the shores of this island. But I have yet to ascertain the motive of why anyone would kidnap such a helpless, scared sailor. Because they do not know or care. Or do not care that he is a Kikir. It passes for a Ratman of Far Eastern folklore, the flesh of which some believe bestows everlasting life. And he always in sailor with most unusual features. An incredible, albeit hideous statue of Eosian make that was in truth a man. I dare say we already have met a goodly merchant. We must return to Kugane and confront this criminal at once. He may have abducted others from faraway lands to sell at auction the fiend.
At the very least, we know he sells his Kikir's friendly friend. We've got to save him too.
Right you are, my lady. We shall see the wicked punished and the innocent set free. Up, and they're off. Yes, I was just about to say that. Well said, you. They're vibing. Well, I'm going to head all the way back to Kugane, aren't I? Good thing it's free, baby! That's right, I cannot fly within city limits. Can't believe it. I can't fly my Omega within city walls. Shame.
Shoot me down the ocean, gentlemen, is alive.
Point. I'll get to me much of your reckoning is at hand.
For the crime of kidnapping a Kikir sailor and selling him to slavery, I hereby place you under arrest. Huh? I should hope I will remember to show up a headphones, hat. More importantly, for you to know such accusations, must just place me under arrest. You know your Seki Shigumi, come on, running or not. Going round and come for your questions are looking for work I so generously provided when I hired you score by auction, and auction you failed to defend against a thief who stole a priceless piece.
I say, what audacity! The self-same beast stands before you with the Kikir who escaped your kidnapping attempt as incontrovertible proof of your misdeeds. I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, have defeated you! The least you could do is demonstrate dignity in defeat! The truth is plain, there's no denying it!
You inspector was it? Whatever authority you may possess in the ocean is not recognized here. Only the Seki Segumi can compare that to the West criminals. What? I still have Mike's hard. you will answer to me.
It's the police!
We had an eye on you for some time, my friend, but alas, all good things must come to an end. The wolf burglar's meddling merely delayed the inevitable. We have all the proof we need. Now do yourself a favor and come quietly, or don't and do me a favor.
Defeated!
Chiguri, owing to the efforts of you and yours, we can finally bring this charlatan to justice. For that, you have my deepest thanks.
But thank you, sir! That you would favor me with such kind words is a great honor. I can only hope that these go same right towards.
However, that you failed to inform the Seki Segumi of the wolf burglar's crime despite being present and said pursue the thief of your own is inexcusable. I cannot in good conscience admit you to the Seki Segumi at this time. Such reckless disregard and thirst for personal glory are traits that will not suffer in our samurai.
F, his application was denied.
A thousand thanks to you for saving friendly friends. Worthy or warrior we will see next time. No more following good thing much since the dark alleys.
I owe you all an apology. Like the merchant said, I am no more than a common ronin. My pursuit of the wolf burglar has been, from the very beginning, independent of the Seki Segumi or any other authority. I accidentally skipped his dialogue. And then when I was about to renounce my dream and return to my village, I learned of a notorious thief. A thief that targeted only the most wealthy and influential. A thief that I might bring to justice and thereby earn the approval of the Seki Segumi. Say no more, my good samurai. Your honest nature and passion for the law have won me over. I swear to you, Aaron, now I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, shall help you scour all creation. From the deepest pit of the seven hills to the very pinnacle of the heavens, for the Kagane wolf burglar, and we shall start right this instant. I'm still not quite sure what to make of that man, but I suppose I should be grateful for the help. Spin. There was it. I should thank you for joining me in this endeavor, perhaps more so than the others. That help is of questionable benefit, whereas yours seems rather more reliable. The wolf burglar is not to be underestimated. He is a cunning, clever foe, as evidenced by the way he escaped. Sheer passion and determination will not be will not be enough to catch him. Pardon. Mike's heart has bubbles. Which is to say that while I value the assistance of the inspector and his assistant, I believe cooler heads will prevail in the end. To wit, yours and mine. I too may be prone to bits of passion, but I should like to think that it is nothing compared to that of the Aeorsian gentlemen. Up. Fucking ready? Fucking ready for this? You better be. You better be ready. Dude! Ow! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. See you, Inspector. See you later, Space Cowboy. Sorry, it's just see you, Space Cowboy, not see you later, Space Cowboy. Have you in there? The wolf burglar for whom we have been searching day and night has struck again. Wow, that was fast. One reached me but moments ago. The inspector and his assistant are a step ahead of us, but if we hurry, we may arrive before they begin questioning any witness. You will come, will you not? Yes? Then let us book no further delay and make haste for the requisite district. Hey. I got some Dragoon Blue. Look how blue I am! I am the bluest. I feel 65 would be proud. Naruto run! Meow. Meow. Not my sprint. Not my sprint. How can I zoom without my sprint? I am the Brand Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, stand ready to assist any and all who seek redress for crimes dastardly and daring. My keen inspector senses led me hither. Speak, my good man, what injustice befell you here?
Oh, inspectors, yes, the Westerners. I remember you, girl. If you are so eager to hear the tale, then I shall be glad to tell it. It was him, the wolf burglar, bold as ever. He attempted to steal the finest sword in my collection, the Sapporo Sukehira, in broad daylight.
But Kobe, you say he attempted.
Unveiled eye.
I was gonna give up a dumb pirate voice.
Little did the fool know that I recently employed a new bodyguard, Bill Samurai with every go bond.
So the Fate was unable to abscond with your precious blade. Truly, you are fortunate indeed, Masake Bono.
Yet truly this is not the end of it. The wolf burglar has pride, he is not wont to forsake a prize.
Masako Bono, I have no doubt that the thief will come back for the blade again and again. I pray you permit me to aid your men in protecting this treasure, that we may finally bring this village to justice.
Yeah, you have spirit, I'll grant you that. But I have no need for additional guards. Yojimbo alone is worth 100 men and not more.
Masako Bono, I think underestimate this fool. You draw more patience! I'm just switching his accent on the fly and I hurt my thumb with that motion. Oof. Oof. You draw more patience, boy! I made my decision, I will not suffer it to be questioned further.
Find another way to earn the second Segumi's approval.
Now then, our pressing engagement at the Sojo Hanamachi, to which I've been looking forward all week. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let this business with the wolf burglar delay me further. Good day. I fear it's like this storm of luck lulling me to a false sense of complacency. You should be doubling the guard or tripling it, if only you would reconsider. If he will not listen to reason, then he must be made to listen to reason. When in doubt, try again. It's not the most well thought out plan, but for lack of anything better. Alright, let us follow Masake Bono to Sanjo Hanamachi for once more impress upon me the gravity of this situation. Man, there's gonna be such a good thing. There's gonna be such a great scene coming up. There's gonna be such a great thing coming up. Shut it, fitness thing. I don't track my calories on the weekend. Just make me unhappy. Well, now.
Ask all you like, well the answer's still no. There's a very short list of people who will get to pass, and none of you lot are on it.
I applaud your diligence, I do, but we are here to help. If you would admit us to speak with Master Capo, that we must convince him to let us stand guard on the Saburo Sukehiro.
Ah, there's your game. Tricked your daft doorman into letting you in.
Pardon. Oh my goodness.
You can steal Master Akimoto's priceless sword. How stupid do you think I am? As if he could sword with the likes of you, not look among you.
Excuse me. Excuse you, I'm sorry. How could you say that to the Ancient One? Really, my mother told me I'm quite handsome.
I'm sure she has, maybe if he was in the mood for a Daikomochi. Not today, though. Master Akamoto's been quite clear that he would only welcome additional entertainers if they were Geiko of surpassing beauty, which are not, so piss off!
Wow. How could you just insult the little Ancient One like that? He's beautiful.
That's one for the body.
I suppose we have no choice but to resign ourselves this outcome. Nay, Shikure, I think not. For I have a plan of surpassing beauty if I do say so myself. Are you acquainted with any Geiko perchance? Well, there is an Okuya nearby whose proprietress may have given me a few old jokes, but wait, what exactly is your plan? All shall become clear in time, my good man. Lead the way to this Okuya. But I gotta zoom out. There we go. How's it feel to be a gentleman detective? Amazing. I can't wait for Hildibrand to come back and Ed Walker. Most humble critics of your fairest maiden, I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, have given to understand that you are an acquaintance of Shikura here. On. Did the frickin' stream elements mess up my frickin' overlay? I think it did. Your S got cut off. Did. I can't believe this happened. A second. That should repopulate itself soon, I think. I hope.
Or two, and now he shows up on my doorstep in the common region inspectors. I can only assume this means he has yet to find honest work.
Indeed, much to all our chagrin. Shikura is not gainfully employed at present, but that regrettable circumstance is not what brings us to you. Nay, as a matter of far greater import, a grave injustice which must be averted at all costs. That and my lady on having clothed my steadfast assistant in your finest kimono. For but a brief time only, you may be assured it shall be returned to you post-haste.
Lend you a kimono just like that? I'm not sure what mischief you inspectors get up to in your line of work, but an honest kimono is priceless. No geeko worth her salt would simply let a stranger parade about town in hers. Not for nothing, at least. Aye, if you are truly in desperate need of my assistance, then you should be willing to pay for it. Hey, 70,000 hours you go.
Easy money, easy money. Lost my last kill on Choir. Love the horse purse. It's true. Can confirm. Be that as it may, there's no need to rely upon your generosity. I am more than capable of paying for this expense. Now you pay the woman.
With what, Inspector? Your coin purse is empty.
I used the wrong voice, oh well. What? As of when? Oh dear, this is certainly a fly in the ointment. It's fine. I don't know why it's not repopulating itself, but it's fine. Fresh. Well, your plan is to disguise Nacho as a gecko that she may enter into the company of Masa Akipono and thereby keep watch for the wolf burglar. I suggest you to call it one of surpassing beauty, but that is our best option. Do not even think to say it, my good man. I would never take the money of a down on his lucky youth with no job or skills to speak of. Wow, that's rough, Hildibrand. But of course, it is as ever so simple. A means by which we may achieve our end without spending a single coin. In my brief time here, I've come to understand the myriad complexities of Incan culture. There's a custom by which one may express the fervor of his conviction by shaving every hair from his head, is there not? Well, yes, I suppose you have the right of it, but are you willing to go to such lengths to secure a kimono?
I'll do the honors! A beauty reborn!
My hair! My beautiful flowing locks! What have you done to me? And now you're bald. Think of the money you'll save on shampoo and conditioner.
Oh, that is brilliant! Utterly brilliant! I don't think I've laughed so hard in ages! Chin up, Shiguri! I dare say she did you a favor! The second Segui might be inclined to take you more seriously now!
What is this voice I'm doing?
You can have your kimono with my thanks! Never mind the guild, them time you've given me is payment enough!
My lady, you are a saint! Are you ready, Nashu? Sorry, I had to take a few sips.
Always, Inspector! Wait here, everyone! I'm sure it won't take long to put one of these things on, right?
Really, there's no greater truth than if we trusted ourselves and the gods. Fate shall conspire to see us succeed.
Is he still in a gummy?
Yes. Yes, it is. Don't really see why you think otherwise. I believe I hear them coming. Ah! Wrong pipe. Also, we have dropped 2,436 frames. So there's a fun fact. My dear Nasher, you look incredible.
Well, actually, yes, you do! You do! She looks every bit like the gecko. I cannot fathom that torment turning her away.
Come, my friends, let us put Nasher's disguise to the proof. Maybe if I said to something that's not low freaking low latency. Pardon. Oh no no. No 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 no. I need someone to just send a long string of letters just so I can see if my chat box cuts you off. Say what you will about the rest of us, but you would have to be blind to disparage my stalwart ass. As that is the lovely Gecko Nashu. Oh, it's right. He's good.
Gecko, hey, alright, let's have a look at you. Oh, where's this lonely last been hiding? Last I could motor sure take a shine to you. Alright, the kill commander and no one else. But, man.
Does that work?
Wish me luck! Oh, is it wise to let it go alone? I'd at least nail myself short of a computer, no?
Oh, Shigure, I did tell you it was a plan of surpassing beauty, was it not?
Yo, they grooving!
They grooving over there.
It's Jim! You son without beard, the Sabora Sukeya, the Gecko without beard, Chiome! What fortune that I may enjoy the company of the finest treasures the world has to offer. Their very presence makes the wine taste that much sweeter.
I don't agree, Mom alone. The last ways you may lay hands upon your anus and play with. In vain I struggle to navigate the endless labyrinth that is a woman's fickle heart.
That which I desire I take, also you when my little project is complete.
Yeah, I'll have a drink with us. Go.
If my lords insist, I shall be glad to partake. Just a little shuffle. And so skilled and as as well. It is only the best of the baby that she should have. Everybody give yourself hold to me. I fear my lord's rather admirable perseverance encroaches upon the obsessive. Although I'm sure I've told you 1,000 times before, I shall be glad to entertain one and all with the traditional arts. So is that I see, no matter, it will tell you be mine, one way or another. Gonna find ya, I'm gonna get you. Making your pawns, my lords! Oh, as long as it was, I thought you should go another Gecko. Good idea, honestly. Munch.
Well, on, I know what this was. Salutations and greetings, my good sirs. Here he comes! Here he comes! Here he is! I already forgot what I already forgot what voice I gave this slimy man. What is the meaning of this? Explicitly. I forgot already. I can't believe it. I already forgore. I bluntly said I would be saying no tackle. That's Hildibrand's voice. Hold up. What did I do for this guy? What did I do?
explicitly said I'll be receiving no Taikomochi this day.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't remember splash battle by me. This is a bridge too far for me. Jim! Hildibrand, best girl confirmed right there. Beauty. It's Grace. Hey, she's so purty. She's so purty. I wonder if it'll let me open this up in overlay editor now. Nope, invalid authorization. Don't know what that. I'd probably have to just log out of Stream Elements and log back in, but I don't know what that would end. Oh no, that's interesting. Okay, hold up a second. I have to relog back into Stream Elements in OBS. Give me a hot second. Give me like a hot second. Get out of here, bro. Yep, there it is. Okay. Fascinating. Oh well. But, hold on, I know what to do.
Behind the bay, no, not the time! The day after the farmer has, but I have had time to recover, but not today.
But my lord, now reconsider. Pray allow me one dance to convince you. You got this, Hildibrand! Yo, he's grooving! He's grooving!
No, Yojimbo, remove this magic at belligerent Taikomochi from my sight!
I don't even lay hands upon a fair maiden. I'll do no such thing.
You defy your master's order. The master has already made you an unconsent. I must have money for your services.
Oh, that's hurting my throat. It's worth it though.
Contemptible master who consorts with lecherous dogs. I agreed to serve only as the sword's protector, not as the executor of your whims.
Oh, it's the doggo! What the dog doing? What the dog doing? There he is! The wolf burglar! What? That's a weird dog.
Impossible!
At last the villain reveals himself! We have you now, most wolfish of burglars! Yes, it was I all along! Hildibrand, master of disguise, inspector of 1,000 faces, defender of justice! That's it, fellas! The game only goes downhill from here! It only goes downhill from here. There's nothing... Can't top this. Can't top this.
I feel so conflicted.
No, you're not Taikomochi. Maybe that.
Oh, well, what's this? Back me if it isn't a talking statue. Fancy being you here. Have to watch me steal the Tobosuke hero? Well, you know how this goes. Don't let them get away!
Oh, fiend! Well, that's one bottle down. and the doggo is gone. Like that.
What happened?
I don't know right here. I got on. I would be heartbroken. I need a single scratch of my concubine to me. Ten. Touchdown. No, sorry. That's field goal. It's good.
My lord would do well to take greater care of where he places his hands should he wish to keep them.
Confound it. How does he manage to escape every time? But rejoice, my friends, for he has failed in his thievery once more. The Sapporo Sukehiro remains safe and sound. Wrong sword, bud. You ball name is ill. Oh, whoa, that was weird. That actually hurt me a bit. My chest. You ball name is ill. Oh, what are you holding? Does that even look even remotely like the Sapporo Sukehiro to you? Does it? I'm seeking the birds. Summoning the geese. For the record, I'm not actually bald. Be on from my sight! And do not be done until you have found my sword! Gosh. After we went through all that trouble, he still manages to steal the Sapporo Sukehiro. I sacrificed my flowing locks for nothing. Though I care increasingly less for Akebono, he is nevertheless a man to be reckoned with. What meager reputation I have will be forfeit if we fail to bring the wolf burglar to justice. Look at his waist. Look at Jim's waist. What a figure. Got hands down to there. But we need not pursue him alone. Your Jimbo's volunteered his services. Together we may yet redeem ourselves. I think I may know where the thief is headed to. I believe the wolf burglar has fled to Yansha. Consider the dagger I took from him in the chaos. Though old and worn, it has been well cared for over the years. It is more than just a tool to him, I think, and it is clearly of dominant design. What an amazing coincidence! The self-same details that also caught my eye. I dare say you have the makings of an Inspector Shikuri. I shall endeavor to take that as a compliment to Yansha. Behave! I'm watching. Nope. Yeah, that's what I thought. But it like dip down to like freaking 700 kilobytes a second, and then they'll shoot up to like 6,000, and then they'll go back to how I have it set. That's weird. That's weird. No, actually, we don't want to do the House of the Fierce because overlaying that House of the Fierce is underground. That's good. No, let's go to the mine, then we'll fly on over. Yeah, I think after the stream, I'll have to check servers settings. I might actually have to end it early if this keeps happening. No, this is not an excuse so I could go back to watching this Final Fantasy VIII speedrun. It's totally just for technical reasons, I swear. Where? Where? On my left kneecap. Man. Remember when we were progging O12S? I remember. Anything so full of splendor, but forgive me, we must not lose sight of the matter at hand. How shall we pursue our quarry?
Not easy. A very good question, to which I currently have no answer. I do.
You know, I should just give him a southern accent, that'd be funny.
Woof, woof. What a nice little doggy! That girl is more than a mere traveling companion. His sense of smell is unparalleled. Give over the burglar's dagger that be attracted scent.
Brilliant idea, Jim!
Yes, indeed. Here, take it.
I'm sorry, hold up.
Boof, boof, boof.
Oh, yeah, it's a set already! With me, not shoot!
Perhaps fate is conspiring to see us succeed after all.
This way. This is the way.
Meow.
What is little Daikoro? Why will he go no further?
As you remember his. 'Tis like there in Amazon about their state befuddles his senses.
Though unfortunate, we know that the wolf burglar came this way. Perhaps if we search, we can find some other clues as to what he's well about. Leave it to me, Shikure! There are clues to be found in these ruins. My keen inspector sense shall lead me to them.
Doggy. Wait for me, Inspector! Wait for me! God, there they go again! Charging off before we have a chance to discuss our plan of action. Must I always be so reckless?
Nothing for it but to follow suit, I suppose. Why don't you search the area to the northwest?
Okie dokie.
Yep. Found this one stinky boy. Healthy and hale, yes, yes. No cigarette, a bit of ale from a serpent a tea, but otherwise beware. So thanks to you, I mean, before I was set upon my ravenous beast of them bandits, unless you would happen to be a thieving bandit, would you? You may be assured I have nothing of value whatsoever, yes, yes! Perhaps some vague recollection of a traveler with an unusual sort across his back. I was deep in my teacups at the time, but I know what I saw.
A drunken Namzu. What is his part in all this? He saw the wolf burglar. What luck! Which way did he go?
Oh, it's all a bit of a blur, though. I doubt my memory would be of any use. My barbells, on the other hand, should do the trick. My double little friend, you need not strain yourself on our gap. We do have ways of fighting the fiend. We've dropped 3,535 frames over the course of this stream. Let's go! Yes,
This gentleman numbs the senses tingling me.
That the wolf burglar!
But that way.
What that way?
Which way? We may as well split up again. Everybody tango, yes, yeah. My best friends have fun hunting the wolf burglar.
Oh, there he goes, squeaking off. How do I change my audio settings so I make the noisy squeaking sounds when I walk? Maybe I just want to squeak whenever I walk anywhere. But do they think of that? No, they don't. Okay, hold on. I'll slap an ancient one on. Give me a second. Goodness gracious. Okay, hold up. Okay. Okay. There he is. There he is. Where is it? There it is. Hot relevant gloves. We found him. But the irrelevant portraits is by someone conspicuous pair of gloves. If they belong to the wolf burglar, perhaps they may prove useful. Jam! Found some, have you? I do not recall him wearing gloves, but for lack of any other possible leads, I said let Daigoro follow his fresh scent. Now that the Namazu is gone, he should have no difficulty finding the owner.
Doggy.
Woof woof. Okay, hold on. What news, Jim? We came as soon as we heard the barking. Now that the Namazu has spotted that Goro is capable of pursuing our quarry once more. The sour comrade found gloves that may have belonged to him, and so we were about to see where they lead us. Woof woof. You crazy kids with your rave emotes. Back in my day, I say, like I had a day. Quickly now, must I lose sight of that Goro.
Doggy.
There he is! We mustn't let him escape this time. Hold, Rodian, you know well how quick it can be. Let's leave this pursuit to one he cannot outrun.
Go get him, doggy.
No, we gotta go out! Say it's a Lupin. Oh, she's a fast doggy! Ah, they are none faster. Come, we must secure the sword and the thief. Trey's turn. Hey, must be the monies! Oh, did you love victory jingle too?
Gosh, he really likes Cobon, doesn't he?
Well, we have our weakness, I suppose. Still, there's no denying he's a very, very good dog. How could he possibly have the nerve?
You what, Willie should have fought this war. While you're waiting for Goya, I've got friends in high places. Montawo to me!
There goes the bird. He's fucking dead. It's a birdie.
By the Kwame, what have you done to my board? Gotcha! Back up!
Watch out, watch out, watch out! Instruction for Hildibrand engine inquiry! Inspector Extraordinaire reclaimed the Saburo Sukehiro. Pardon. Yeah, seems we have. Though before we declare with certainty, I would verify the authenticity of the blade. But the gods!
This is no fake. It's indeed a work of art, masterpiece that can only be the treasured Saburo Sukehiro. I just remembered our urgent business in Kugane, which as well as it shall afford me the opportunity to return the Saburo Sukehiro to its rightful owner. Pray allow me to do so. You have my word, I shall surrender it to no one.
Lucky we are to have a friend like Jim. Steadfast, loyal, honorable. A man developed man from another mother.
Let us quit this place and return to Kugane with the wolf burglar. I'm sure the Seki Segumi have a cell with his name on it.
Man, it sure is nice that I have Kugane as my free point. I could just go there for free. 0 monies required. Beady beep beady. Business heavy with the Sekisegumi? I caught a weird dog.
The wolf burglar, the Lumen has made mock of me and my brothers!
That I, Shikane, and my comrades have successfully captured the notorious wolf burglar of Kugane and brought them here that we might surrender him into the custody of the Sekisegumi.
Ta-da!
Well, glad we are to accept this unexpected bounty. But that has been a source of unending concentration for us. But thanks to you all. Right, bring him inside on our friends. Cheers. Cheers.
Bloody fools, the one of you! Why did the true villain in your midst?
Oh.
God, what was his voice again? I don't remember.
That's right. It was the one that hurt me physically.
Is it true that the wolf burglar has been detained? Well done. Who must be named for this suspicious turn of events?
It hurts me to do that voice.
I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, did bring the wolf burglar to heel with my customary style and aplomb.
Very good, very good. As a supporter hero, where is it?
You mean you don't have it? I thought your Jimbo had returned it to you.
Yo, Jimbo, the disrespectful disgrace of a samurai? Nay, I've neither seen eye nor hear of him.
I can only presume that Jim is currently enjoying a plain taco to Uminico Diaz before paying us our Capo visit.
Or perhaps he has absconded with the Saburo Sukehiro.
This is all a joke to you people, isn't it?
Where's my canned laughter when I need it?
Okay.
Of all the stupid things that will utterly unjustifiable, for what reason could you have possibly even more forward considered it was to let a single man, and not any man either, a man I just expelled my service?
Whew, painful. Okay, hold up. There's more.
Mark B. Ronan, if you fail to deliver that sword, I shall make it the focus of my remaining years that your dreams go unfulfilled.
Now.
Huh. We certainly can't have that. Which reminds me, Yagura, you once told me it was your dream to serve alongside us. Is that still the case?
Yes, sir, it is.
Good, because in light of your recent accomplishment, I would like nothing more than to induct you to the Seki Segumi. What say you?
It would be an honor, sir.
Glad to hear it. There are, of course, some few procedures and discussions with my superiors that must come first, but we may attend to them now if your comments don't mind waiting.
Not at all. We will await your triumphant return, Shigure. Ugh. New threads! My friend is finished. Can we get some clap emotes for Shigure? He did it. Good job.
Oh, Shigure reborn!
Well, I would not dare put much in such grandiose terms, but indeed I feel as though I am a changed man. And it is you three that have changed me for the better. 1,000 thanks to you, Nea. Inspector Hildibrand. Dashu. Though I have only just become a Sekizakumi, I've already been given my first assignment. I am to pursue the renegade Yojimbo and recover the Sapporo Sukehiro. Alas, as a new recruit, I've been afforded no additional men or resources to accomplish this task. If I'm to succeed, I will need all the help I can get.
Say no more, Shakura. I would be glad to give it. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, do hereby re-swear to help you scour all creation, from the deepest pit of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, for Jim and the Sapporo Suke hero. And so our hunt begins again.
And he's off.
Wait for me, Inspector, wait for me!
Down, 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 down. But the beast struggles to believe it near. The wolf burglar captured and myself become a Seki Segumi. Again, I cannot thank you enough for all you have done for me. What an odd circuitous path that it has led us to this point. To be honest, the most vexing complication was the loss of my hair. Though Nashua shows me that she's already in the process of acquiring, I put the thoughts in to remedy that. Once more, we find ourselves waiting for fate to spur our story forward. Until we have a leader on Sapporo Sukehiro, we can't but enjoy our respite. And on that note, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna use the ladies' room. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. I actually think we're almost at the end. Almost, kind of. Oh, another good part coming up. You look well, Nea. I pray your adventures have not been too taxing. As for myself, the search for the Sapporo Sukehiro as well as your Jimbo continues. Would that I have claimed to even a measure of progress.
Ah, Shakura, there you are. We thought perhaps to find you inside, my bald man, but I see you are here, and is accompanied by stalwart assistant.
Bald, you have also picked Bill Shilton.
Having failed to seize upon new information of value or even passing relevance, we were in the midst of reconsidering our investigation strategy. But tell me, have you worded Jim and our missing sword?
Jim, who is that? Yes, you're Jimbo. No.
As I was just telling Nea, I had made no progress since we last spoke. Okay, I'm getting like really cold. I might end the stream soon so I could just curl up under some blankets.
Oh, thank you for the pats. Yay!
Your sense of stress, Shigari! You have pine for your lost looks and pine no longer. We have brought you a hair tonic of perpetual effectiveness.
Really? Well, that is very considerate gesture. Thank you.
Why not try it right now?
Aye, the sooner the better, perhaps.
For when you do go to bed, that is.
if I did have this 2 monitor setup... Oh, no, wait, no, I'd have to... Yeah, no. I could. If I did have this 2 monitor setup, and if my controller wasn't connected to the computer with a wire, I could theoretically, like, sit on the corner of my bed, bundled in blankets, and play. Oh, I say, the big boss is Hildibrand and his bosom companions yet again. Truly, the Komi have been kind to me. It's always a pleasure to see a man of the old lord. But when you're not bad for it, is ya? Why are you still in the consume ancient one? I'm not gonna eat the ancient one. I'm not eating my baby. Why would you make me eat my baby? Why would you do that? Instead, cheers, more Mike's hard. I'm not eating my ancient one. Don't make me change that redemption's name. I died, I had thought to return home and rejoin my brothers, and to that end did I call upon a local fisherman to secure passage. 'Twas of me that I heard a tale most fascinating which compelled me to stay. A Funayuri, a far eastern variety of undead, have been seen wandering in Isle shores. Thank you for the pets. Yay. As my previous attempts to recruit fellow zombies have met with failure, I thought what a broad my criteria to build this ghost in the spirit of camaraderie. Thank you for the pets. Alas, it is the most elusive quarry. Rather shy, it would seem. I sought to learn more of the Funayuri by questioning the people of the city, but have been unsuccessful thus far. I say. I realize this is sudden, but in your inquiries, did you hear a mention of Jim? Pardon? Oh, goodness. Jim, I fear I would know of this particular Far Eastern spirit. Though, to be honest, not all have been willing to entertain my company, perhaps due to my undead nature. It pains me to hear that. In this world, there remain people prejudiced against the living and impaired. You thank us, Jim, Masters Hildibrand. If so, I shall be glad to help. Grateful as we would be, it might be wise to change your attire. The people's reluctance to speak with you may be due to your passing resemblance to a certain wolfish figure who until recently terrorized the city. Oh, how careless am I! I shall change it to something less conspicuous at once. Then it is settled. But at first you don't succeed, make inquiries again. Let us split up and speak with the men and women of Kukane. Ba-da-da-da! Dun 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 dun
Oh, Jimbo, you say? The name does ring a bell. Yeah, now I recall. The Lupin fellow was asking after him as well, though that was some time ago. He since been detained by the Seki Segumi. The Lupin, not your Jimbo, that is. Not that I can imagine why, he's no criminal. But when I told him how my mother had taken ill, he gave me the koban to purchase her medicine without me asking her anything. They say he's done terrible things, but a man like that? No, I refuse to believe it. If there's any justice in this world, he'll be set free.
Yes, my man, Bakugan. Man, who freaking remembers Bakugan?
Let me guess, you're searching for a man named Yojimbo? The Seki Segumi questioned him about him not long ago. Very desperate to find him, they were. I doubt they'll receive much help by the populace at present, though. Why you ask? Surely you've heard. The Kugane wolf burglar has been arrested. Despite what the wealthy elite would have you believe, he's no demon deserving of the harshest sentence. They think he's a hero to the downtrodden, having shared his spoils with the least among us. If you ask me, the Seki Segumi ought to take a closer look at the merchants he targeted. Akebody in particular had been at the center of many dark rumors. Anyway, like the wolf burglar's attainment, many are less than willing to aid the Seki Segumi in their activities, and unfortunately they suspect you to be working with them. You too may find your overtures rebuffed.
I remember trying to wake up early enough to catch Bakugan on Saturday morning cartoons.
Are you presumed at your Jibo, fella? The Sekisei Jimmy were asking after him one the other day. I'll tell you what I told them. I've never heard of the man. It's just between you and me. Even if I did know something, I don't know if I would want to tell them. You know the Kugane wolf burglar? The one they locked away? Rumor has it they intend to inflict upon him terrible punishment for his so-called crimes. Madness, I tell you, madness!
Bakugan! I think it's on Hulu right now.
Every single one of the burglar's victims were among the most notorious scoundrels of the city. Greedy merchants with no scruples whatsoever. What's more, everything he stole he gave to the poor and needy, and yet they decry him as a villain. Fools!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bakugan was one of those shows that was made just to sell the toys. I have no idea how the game works. All I know is that they had little round friends. Very spherical little buddies. How does the game even work then? What does that mean? I see. And what have you learned there? I have no idea the plight of the wolf burglar weighed upon the minds of so many. What exactly did they say? A hero to the poor and downtrodden. A criminal who simply gave away his hard-won spoils. This is all quite unexpected. But whatever aspirations they cast upon his victims, the law is the law. Even disreputable merchants are deserving of fair and equitable treatment. To ignore their plight is to let the mob decide their fate. That's it to hear. So, what I'm reading here about Bakugan is that it's basically an elaborate board game. Okay. The master of the Sekisegumi, I cannot. As a man of the Sekisegumi, I cannot help but feel conflicted. If I may, Shikuri might be best dressed in less conspicuous clothing, at least for the time being. It's a dexterity. Man, glad I never had any interest in actually playing the game. I have no dexterity. I have no dex. I hate to say it, but that is a sensible suggestion. Surprisingly, perhaps I should make use of my old kimono. Yet, even if I were to do so, my face is already known. They will mark me as the Sekisegumi and perhaps even resent my attempts to deceive them. Ew, yeah. I've leveled 0 dex. I'll never be able to do the giant dad build. But don't tell anyone you leveled that! Fucking scrub.
I got an idea! Why not ask the wolf burglar? He's so popular with the people, who knows what secrets they told him?
Asks the wolf burglar. If both he and your Jimbo had designs of the Saburo Sukihiro, then it's possible they might know one another. Well done, Nash, I was but mere moments from reaching the self-same conclusion. It's settled then. Let us go and question the prisoner without further delay. Greetings and welcome, comrade. If I might have a moment of your time. Tell me about ascertain the whereabouts of the fugitive Yojimbo. We wish to speak with the Kugane wolf burglar. Will you permit us to enter?
Certainly, Shikiri, if it will aid you in your investigation. Follow me.
Oh, there he is. trust you are enjoying our hospitality. I can't bear in question.
What's it say for little old me, you say?
Following your arrest, Ryonin Ojimbo absconded with the Sapporo Sukihiro you stole from Master Akebono. He remains at large. We have reason to believe the sword was his objective all along. Given that it was yours as well, I thought you might know something of the man and his motive.
Everyone knows the sword's worth a bloody fortune and then some. But finding a buyer for your masterpiece as famous as the Sapporo Sukihiro, especially after one of its thefts has fled far and wide, well, good luck with that, said I. Why, they surely have to avail themselves of the services of so disreputable folks with whom I happen to be intimately acquainted. I'd be happy to introduce you all as soon as you set me free.
What? Absolutely not. That is out of the question.
And we got nothing more to discuss. Best be on your way.
Now, Shigure, let's not be too quick to judge. If the goodly men and women of Kugane wasn't trusted his good intentions, then perhaps we should as well. An awful lot of people were willing to vouch for his character. What if they would say true? Then it would be wrong to see him hanged. I will propose to my superiors that you be temporarily released into our custody for the purposes of our investigation. Should you abide by the terms of our agreement, you may receive leniency. What say you?
I say you got yourself a deal, Baldy. Baldy.
Would they even consider my proposal, though? The deliberations alone may prove time-consuming if they refuse. Remind me, Nashu, do you have your air tonic on you?
I sure do, Inspector! That's as good a time as ever to try, don't you think?
Here, in the gown. Well, far be it from me to refuse. Remember this old bottle, my good man. Pour it over your head until not a single drop remains. That seems rather wasteful, but if you insist. I feel strange, like my scalp is... Oh, but the gummy!
Yeah, you're alright, I heard you shouting.
The light! It's Bison! There are too many! Okay there, La Habrea. And turn and flex and shake and bounce. Perfection! Rejoice, my goodly burglars! I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, have liberated you from your unjust imprisonment. Now see here, Inspector!
What happened? Has the prisoner escaped? So, I suppose the one was that blinding light.
1,000 pounds! One of my associates was carrying small explosives, one of which detonated unexpectedly. I've caused Peter to take the others outside immediately for safety's sake. I believe that explains that. Yes, right then, if you'll excuse me!
Yeah, of course. Very good. Wait, why did Chiguri regrow his hair?
10 out of 10 stealth. How do we manage to escape undetected? I have no idea. I can but pray that our ruse will remain intact. The wolf burglar led the others into the waterways below, which followed. Oh my goodness. Pardon me. Pardon me. Yeet. You're just vibing. Okay, I'm just checking my chat box.
Thank you. Thank you for the pets. Thank you for the pet. I appreciate it. Been down here before? If so, you might have met my friends already. A contemptible war uncle got his cast-offs. It was what a peep from your quarry would be them. Oh my, don't be shy.
Da 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 dee 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 doo dee dee.
Oh, you're working well for a white bastard.
Thanks for to know where at. The one of you has up to leisure. And more importantly, I just appeared the second to give me news.
Well, my dashy good works and my silver tongue, how else? But never you mind that, I need information code you.
Gonna pet you. I'll take pets over bonks.
No, was the second thing over here show that one asking questions.
I read that wrong.
Don't need to give the lad a hard time. He did white boy me and I mean to return the flavor. Yeah, you mean you're helping him when you gone mad? Yeah, well, even if I have to definitely you and noisy to roll your pretty little heads over, use your hand and we'll get out of your hair. Well, honor. They're not a bad bunch, really. Most try to make it a living on the straight and narrow. Some even had in mind to join the Seki Segumi like you, but were found wanting for this reason or that. When honest work's no longer an option, that leaves the other sort. The dangerous and disreputable, the dirty. Someone's got to do it so these industrious souls pick up the slack. Maybe you have to clean the good before you hobnob with, but while you're in their company, and that's that you comport yourself with a modicum of civility.
I should like to believe that I've done just that. You'll forgive me if I give you any reason to think otherwise.
See, fast wins, we all are. Right then, we're after a bloke that goes by the mark of Yojimbo. Heard 12 of the man? Yojimbo? Can't say it rings a bell. Oi, any of you fellas know a name by... No, a name but the I can't read. Well, there you have it. Might be different if he had a bounty on his head. What'd he do anyway? Piss in the Bugio's rice porridge? If only, so the Sabora Sukehiro he did. Well, I mean, that's a beauty. What do I know? Money or buy it, even through the black market, would be a challenge and a half. And if he didn't even put out the word he was looking, we'd have heard about it by now.
To come out this way and leave with nothing.
Here, let's not call it a day just yet. Assuming this Yojimbo didn't steal the sword for the challenge, there's only two reasons he'd take it. To sell it or to keep it. And if it's not about the money, then I doubt this is his first prize or his last.
Look, my keen inspector sets whispers and speaks of a thieving collector of swords. Yes, there could be no mistake.
Aye, what he said, I suppose. If he's a collector, then only the best will do. Which means his next song might be, I don't know, the Ame no Murakumo?
Wait, the Ame no Murakumo? But I thought that was nothing more than a fairy tale. Do you mean to say the fabled sword of Eld actually exists? A giant Connie tried to kill me and my friends with it, but I deflected the blow. Rejoice in the glory of combat! How a heart sing in the chaos! You what? I have so many questions, but first, what did this all happen?
Yes, we did the cauldron of the Red's treasure, Molly. If that's the case, then it seems to me you ought to continue your search in the Ruby Sea, no? It might well be your best place to look for us to walk. In that case, let us.
Let us brook no further delay and enter the Ruby Sea at once. You think that the army no more Goro is utterly real, but that it was brought to bear against you and yours by a gummy of unfathomable strength. In any event, we now know where we might search the Ruby Sea. Before I may leave, however, there is a matter of great import to which I must attend. But perhaps great import is something of an overstatement. I speak of the inspector's earlier advice concerning my garments. I will meet you at the Ruby Price after I change. Pray go on ahead without me, I insist. Good swords, good dogs. Heck yeah, good dogs! All set for another trip into the glittering westward expanse. I know I am.
Let us hop aboard the next ferry to the Ruby Price and wait for Shigoi there, as he requested. Come along!
Da 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 da. Da da da. Oh, rude.
My baby.
I agree. Cheers! I agree with that. So, did we all have a good day? You better have. You better have had a good day. You know what? We take those. Pardon. Oh, Chikuri, over here, over here. It's fine.
Well, boy, the comment. I thought you were someone else at first.
But since it was suggested I should wear something other than the garments of the Sekisukumi for a time, I paid a visit to Kogane Tori and purchased some things completely unlike my usual attire. It's quite the change, but very much for the better if I do say so myself.
I didn't realize you could be so fashionable.
But fashionable, please not should you give me too much credit.
I'll say that get up with those Zoe. I don't see that becoming a trend.
F.
Not that it matters. We didn't come here to mess about, eh? We gotta collect the cash. Assuming he's after the Ami no more Akuma, then we gotta get to the Aozeki. Any ideas? My air underwater passage a bit more twisty than I thought. Yet the blushing of the coach in the letter seems almost impossible. What was that the bird of us? Motoro, was it? As to what the inspector did to him? Ha! He'll be keeping a wild boar fire whacking assuming he's fit to fly.
But some sort of traumatic experience for all involved, eh? Forgive my bluntness, my wolfish competitor, but it occurs to me that we have yet to hear your motives for attempting to steal the Sapporo Sukehiro from Master Akebono. Did not Koji say that selling such a blade would be extraordinarily difficult?
It's not stealing to take back what was stolen. That black-hearted bastard Akebono prized it from the hands of its rightful owner. It was a humble samurai who lived a humble life devoid of most luxuries. A righteous man who never turned his back on those in need. Certainly not a long-whooping boy who'd fled Doma during the occupation. The two lived as father and son with few comforts that saved each other's company. And then one day, a merchant came calling, asking after the samurai sword, asking him to part with his one prized possession. But a sword is a samurai's soul, and he'd sooner die than sell it, even if for a fortune.
Sing mode! I don't know what to do with sing mode for this dialogue.
What, the merchant? He's not this...
That was a mistake. That sing mode was a mistake. Hold on. I don't fucking know what to do with that. I'm gonna just... Nekuma, remind me to remove sing mode.
He changed his track and worms his ways with the samurai's affairs.
I'm going to pull the Les Mis and the... But then they stay on one note for a real long time, so that when they go to a different note, you notice it. And it's supposed to create a dramatic effect, but the audience just stands there thinking, why aren't they talking? There, you know what? I'm gonna say that counts. Me singing a bit from Something Rotten counts. Counts. It's a musical, a musical. There's nothing as amazing as a musical. With song and dance and sweet romance and happy endings happening by happenstance. Oohs, big applause and a dazzling chorus. Take it from me. They'll be flocking to see. I don't remember the rest.
Small sums at first, but bigger than bigger. Before he knows it, the samurai owes the merchant a veritable mountain of coin, and so he pledges his blade as collateral. The samurai worked day and night to reclaim his honor, but while strong in spirit, he was weak in body. He fell sick and soon after passed away, leaving his group in charge alone in this unjust world. But this time you were only... He left Kugane for a time and returned years later from Yancha, having learned the ways of the shinobi that he might honor his adopted father by helping others as he has helped him as a child. A chivalrous cause for a personal vendetta, perhaps. More than anything, he learned to reclaim the samurai sword, the last surviving memento of their time together, that he might wear it with pride. Oh, this time, Master Akebono was your main objective. When he broke into his shop at the Rakuza district, you were searching for the Sapporo Sukehiro.
We kept a close eye on him even as you continued to target other disreputable merchants, as you might drive him to take additional measures to protect the sword, knowing that in doing so he would eventually reveal its location. Then it's settled that Sukiyama must be returned to its rightful owner.
Hey, Obi, if it's so hard for people to reach Alazeki, how is Yojimbo planning to get there?
That I do not know, but regardless if he was headed there, someone must have noted his passing. I say we question the pirates of Sakazuki to see if any have observed a traveler resembling Yojimbo of late. We have the same mind, Sakura. The Sakazuki post taste. Titan! I could probably... Goodbye, horse.
I remember you looking for more dead men. A real thin samurai with a wide-brimmed hat and oversized getter? Not like that when I was getting my nose, which is to say I'm confident I haven't seen him. Sorry to disappoint you.
Not at all, my friend. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. As I said before, my good woman, when at first you don't succeed, make inquiries again. Let us away.
What's that? Lanky samurai with a large hat. Happens I spoke with a traveler like that. Had a dog with him too. Sure enough, he had a mind to head to the Isle of Zeki. Couldn't imagine why, what with the red being as unwelcoming as they are, and there being no place to dock a boat. Told him as much, but shrugged it off and went on his merry way. Come to think of it, did I see that dog of his not long ago? On the beach below, wandering about, I hope I did. I hope he didn't abandon him.
You've been tremendously helpful. 1,000 thanks to you. I feel like I read that all wrong. Oh well. Surely the canine in question is Taikoro. We must gather the others and search for Jim's beloved companion at once. No, wait! Taikoro! Yeah, Taikoro! Dog.
I think I saw him over there! Maybe he doesn't like us anymore. Now you're gonna give the pup to White instead of his all.
Sit. Oh. Surely it can't be that simple.
See for yourself.
That is a fast doggo. Okay, ready? You ready? Oh, that's all it takes to win him over, eh? A single coupon, greedy little thing. Hashikura, Takoro's a good dog, and now you'll lead us to his master. When she sees a hot... believe it. I'm being called out like that. Caught in 4K. Can't believe it. Can't freaking believe it. Hold on. Gotta fix my overlay again. I don't know why. I gotta do this. I clicked it, by the way. How dare! And I gotta fix my overlay again. Too far to the left. Did it. More or less. This is quite a fix indeed. Nah, Gore, what are you doing here? I thought I told you to wait for me. Hildy!
Jim, my good man, I mean, you're abscallion, you've nowhere to run. These your shenanigans are relinquished to Sapporo Sukehira at once.
I don't know such thing. What the fuck was that? Ever since I was bitten by a tight-lipped associate over yonder, I was yearning for an opportunity to redeem myself. So I set about searching for stronger swords with which I might bring my everything to bear. I thought to claim victory with the Amidok Merc come on in, but if circumstances demand we sell this here and now, then so be it. Take your hand, my friend. Though I know you only mean well, securing the sword is a grave responsibility which falls to.
I am the bad agent requiring Inspector Extraordinaire to resolve this conflict and reclaim the sword. Prepare to be amazed as the Sapporo Sukehira is delivered to my waiting arms. I'm gonna watch this clip. I'm watching this clip.
How dare you?
Prepare to be amazed as the Sapporo Sukehira is delivered to my waiting arms. Tagoro! Oh, Tagoro! Come here and let Hildy give you a great big belly rub.
That Gore, you'll do no such thing. What? Betrayed! The inspector does... The inspector does come from a wealthy family, so maybe he smells of money?
Until you surrender to the Sapporo Sukehira, I will give Tagoro the most furious of belly rubs, thereby depriving you of the pleasure. Such is my ultimatum.
Dang, how... You monster, that is quite the ultimatum. You fiend! That Goro! Return to me this instant! Shunned! Oh, fine with it! You win! The sword is yours! actually worked! Inspector Hildibrand's powers of negotiation are most impressive! Mommy! Let him go! I think he's fucking dead. Let's go! What? Where's the Saburo Sukahiro?
What will it belongs?
You paid for throwing it at once!
That's right, earlier. Fuck, where did it come from? Man, this isn't over.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gary, what is this I hear about you setting free a notorious fugitive? Explain yourself at once.
Well, you see, Inspector Hildibrand and in order to track down the Ojibwa of the Saburo Sukahiro, we needed to enlist the assistance of the wolf burglar. To that end, we removed him from the guard, temporarily, of course. We had every intention of returning him to his cell.
And how do you intend to do so when your prisoner has taken flight? Gary, I charge you with aiding and abetting a criminal in their escape.
Bruh. Be reasonable. You know full well what everything Shigure did was to achieve a greater good, to uphold the law of the land. We must return with the Saburo Sukahiro and the wolf burglar, I swear to you.
I understand you're his friend, but to make an exception would only compound the offense. No man is above the law, not even our own.
Okay, the overlays, the chat box is still like 1 pixel off and it's bothering me. There we go. That should be it. Don't know why it seems to like keep sliding to the left. What a miscarriage of justice to see our Shigure spirited away like a common criminal in complete disregard to the extenuating circumstances. Hold on, I think I can just fix this. Pardon me. Size and style, width 9. Okay, I think that's... Actually, I could just change... What is it? Settings... Could just make it transparent. It's fine, I guess. It fails to us to find a way to right this wrong, but there's no place to devise a plan. To Kagane, my friends! To Kugane, my friends. We think we have a boss fight coming up. Got a boss fight coming up. Wait, what am I doing? I just teleport closer. Why am I trying to walk all the way there when I could just use the Ethernet for fast travel? Can't believe— what? You clicked me sniffing the microphone. Oh my good woman, I hardly know where to begin. Ever since our return, I have been racking my brain trying to conceive of a means by which we might free Shikari from his predicament, but to no avail. By absconding with the sword, the wolf burglar has done us no favors, and yet I do not think this tale of the samurai and Akebono was a lie. My keen inspector sense tells me that the many threads of this tale are converging upon a single point not far from now, which all truth shall be laid bare for all to see.
Cool, that's what I like to hear, and I agree. I don't think the wolf burglar's bad at all. Once the Seki Segumi realized that, they should have let Shigeri off the hook, don't you think?
I most certainly don't, Nashu. Furthermore, I say that to hasten this most desirous of resolutions, I must begin investigating Master Akebono at once. Hold the fort while I'm gone, my stalwart assistant.
Yes, sir, Inspector. I don't know what he's all about, but I'm sure it'll be brilliant.
Da 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 da. Oh great, he's speaking.
I suppose the day was about to come. No matter, soon there'll be nothing in this world beyond my grasp.
Oh, let me check what my limiter is at on... It's been a while. Okay. Fucking ready to groove. Beautiful. We're at the final stretch.
And where in the world could he be? Oh, it's you. I don't suppose you bumped into Inspector Hildibrand roaming about, have you? Making his inquiries? Oh, ever since Shigeri got detained by the Seki Segumi, the inspector's been busy looking into the affairs of Master Akebono, but to no avail.
Never fear, my faithful assistants, I have returned. Your unwavering loyalty to the pursuit of honor and justice is a hard-boiled thing. And a hard-boiled thing is to be commended, my good woman. Pardon. I might go so far as to say that in all my years as an inspector, I've known no man more passionate than you. But speaking of fans, during the course of my investigation into the darker rumors concerning Master Akebono, I received a mysterious missive I can but presume was penned by one of my many admirers.
Bullshit, Inspector Hildibrand! Even in the Far East, you got yourself a following!
say, why, you must be referring to none other than my humble self, the one and only gentleman of light. That said, I'd much rather resolve this dispute without resorting to duels and the like. Where any of my friends will not go and attempt to reason with this misguided ruffian. Okay, bye-bye.
I'm pretty sure they weren't warrior, not gentlemen. It's probably to talk about now. What do you think, Inspector?
What Ohashi could mean? Is it bridge? Are we gonna have a battle on a big bridge?
Inspector Hildibrand! What you mean he up and ran off? Why are you still standing there? You should hurry up and catch him before he does something silly.
He's all the way down, yep. To the tavern, the consultant. In fact, young there, as I can see, I seem to find myself in a pickle. By pickle, I mean the ground. Forgot Hashi lies beyond this gate, but before I could pass through, I found myself suddenly ghosted, then inverted, then embedded thusly pipe with the deep of misguided chip. The goal I must regrettably leave up to you. You don't know. Answer! I'm so blue. Oh wait, before I forget, what setting is it on? I think it's under general. I think it was, what the heck was it under? Control setting? There it is. Kugane Ohashi! Let's go! And now we wait. I'm gonna do my sit-ups while I wait. Someone tell me when the cue pops. My headphones will fall off. No, just figured I probably shouldn't be doing any. Oh, why am I so close to the camera now? Hold up. Okay. I figured I probably shouldn't be doing sit-ups after I had drunken. Okay. There he is, embedded within the earth. What if I'll get the Yojimbo barding this time? Probably not. Let me in! I know the leader! know you're Dragon King! So, while we wait, how we doing? Doing good? Water in water? I don't have water right now. Wow. That just knocked my tracking to the moon and back. Probably shouldn't tip the back of the ball directly to the camera then. I am almost done with my last bottle of Mike's Hard for the night though, so there's that. And it's water and water, not water in water. It's water and water and water, 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 and water and water, 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 and water and water, 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 and water and water, water. Oh, win, boys! Yo, that made a sound effect. Wow. Oh, far too long have I waited for this rematch. The Saburo Suke hero may have brought us together, but 'twas fate that ordained we engage in glorious. I did finish his dialogue. Victory will be mine this day! Dun 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 dun. And men who dress like ladies! It's Gilgameshing time! Here we go, baby! There he is! 'Tis I, the man, the myth, the legend! Gilgamesh! Gilgamesh! Oh fuck, we lost one of the healers. Here. I know, right? What a twist! Wow, rude. Yo, why? Did that dude really just jump away? He did. That's it. I am revoking your dance partner privileges. Oh, I'm fine. There he is! I'm fine. I'm not dead, and that's what counts. Negwitch has left my expectations of Dragoons so high. Oh, fuck. It really do be like that, huh? Man. It really do be like that. The tethers! Oh, we're in a bind. Oh! Something always happens in this fight. Something always happens. I think he's trying to rush to LB3. A spicy tech. Let's see if he makes it. Will he make it to LB3? I want to believe. I want to believe. We're almost at LB3! Come on! Go! Go! Rotate so fast, Panapa! Yo! Where is Eternal? We've lost the Reaper! I repeat! We've lost the Reaper. way, this way. Yeah, boys. Yeah. We did it! We did it! It's beautiful. I know who's getting my comm. Oh, they freaking left! I can't give it to anyone then. No one deserves it. Come on, 63. On to Summer's yeah, please! Did it! I got the boarding. I did it. I did it. Yeah. And I have no more reason to do that again unless it turns up in my freaking Wondrous Tales. Thank you for the headbats. Yes, thank you. Why Eternal Darkness? No, it's Yojimbo time. Yeah, boy. Oh. I'm in again, Hildy. Greg! I say you're a sight for sore eyes! How did you get to be here in Kugane, the Far East for that matter? Ah, well, you see, the thing about that is... I say, to think that Greg was masquerading as Jim this entire time! Pardon. Indeed I was. After Naya bested me a second time, I quit Eorzi and embarked upon a journey to distant lands that I might hone my skills in preparation for our inevitable third bout. But when I saw you had misread my carefully written words in Commoner Sid, I felt I had no choice but to remove you from the field forcibly. Pray and forgive me my unkindness, Hildy. Greg, you the best! No, Greg, there's no need for apologies between friends. And again, I must ask though, how's it good to be here in Kugane as a ronin of much repute and a remarkably thin waist? I know it seems far-fetched, even insulting to your intelligence, but there's a simple and highly satisfying explanation. In my quest to hone my skills and procure more powerful weapons overseas, I neglected to budget properly for food and drink and soon found myself bereft of both. Driven to a deadly hunger, I fell to my knees, and in that instant looked to my bosom friend, the painted rooster that offered me companionship in my darkest hour. When dawn broke the following day, I was alone once more, a sliver of strength restored by the terrible sacrifice of my comrade, whose body and soul I would carry with me ever after. But by his grace, I survived for days and days after until I chanced to cross paths with a stray dog. If Yojimbo's so good, where's Yojimbo 2? He was too was clearly a victim of the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune, and in each other we found kindred spirits, we orphans of fate. Thus did I name Daigoro, and therefore did we travel as one, working together that we might both live to see another day. When we at last arrived in Kugane, I sought employment as a mercenary to rebuild my misspent savings and resume my search for the strongest of swords. It was through such ventures that I acquired the Zanmato, in fact, and began to build my reputation as Yojimbo. Naturally, a legendary ronin must dress to meet with the expectations of his clients, So I assembled an outfit that would satisfy those who had requested my services. Kageyama was one such client. When I saw that Nea and the comments were to be my important though, I quickly realized he had not paid me nearly enough. More fool me. Needless to say, the sight of the woman who had bested me twice before was enough to rekindle the competitive spirit within me. And so when I heard tell of the Saburo Sukahira, I knew I must claim it in preparation for our battle. The rest you know. Truly a riveting tale. And tragic besides. For though I fought with all my strength, yet again was I defeated by the great and powerful warrior of light. As I said to you on the bridge, no more tricks. I had taken my shot and fallen short, and so I will cease my shenanigans and instead pledge my complete support to your endeavors, that I might make amends for my misdeeds. And we should be glad to have it, Greg. Welcome aboard. Let us return to Nashu and share with her the wonderful news. God, what a freaking fight that was, though. You too, Greg. You're a full-fledged assistant now. We almost wiped. And the freaking flight mates that saved our hides left before I could give them a commendation. It's a crime against humanity. Why must it be so? Why? Greg. Terrible news, everyone! What else is the matter, Nashu?
It's Shigeru's punishment for having the wolf burglar escaped. He's been sentenced to death by ritual suicide.
This is indeed a disturbing development, Hildy. We have no time to spare, my friends. Pursuing the wolf burglars in the wind, our only recourse is to delve deeper into the hidden past of Master Akebono and uncover proof that the sword he claims was first stolen by he himself. Divide and conquer agents of inquiry style. We're almost done.
And Akebono earned its fortune, you ask, by peddling a variety of medicinal wares for all manner of purposes. What I heard, they were all remarkably effective and popular. He still enjoys a reputation as a premier source of alchemical goods. Without the coin to avoid such luxurious potions and potables, his clientele spends in a visit what I earned in a month.
Dang, that's some fancy face cream. Chupa. What do you mean I can't talk while jumping?
I should hope I shall be glad to speak of Master Akebono to you, albeit solely with regards to his character as a businessman. Like all the resident to mercantile prominence, he has been at the center of rumor and intrigue. For every man who sings his praises has another accursed name. None will deny the efficacy of his medicines, which is to be expected given that he utilizes the finest ingredients from the birthplace of alchemy, Radz-at-Han. His satisfied customers are beyond counting. On the other hand, none can deny the exorbitant profits he has reaped by tightly controlling the supply of Hanish ingredients. Absent competition, he is free to dictate prices as he sees fit. Fortunately, this has led to many in desperate need of his miraculous medicines to spend their entire life savings or seek assistance from disreputable moneylenders. His practices are, ultimately, wholly within the confines of the law. So again, as a businessman, he's to be lauded for his success. But I will say nothing on his morals or ethics, or lack thereof.
tantalizing tidbits of information to share, my good woman. Come out with this. A man who preys on the sick and needy for personal gain, you see, as expected there's far more to Master Akebono than meets the eye.
Inspector! We've got to hurry! Shigura's execution is going to be carried out any moment now if we don't do something!
What, already? There is how we might first conduct a thorough investigation and uncover information with which we might convince them to set the poor man free, but absent that. But there are many roads which lead to just that. We must take a shortcut to avert a great miscarriage of justice, and so be it.
Meow.
Here we go!
More shenaniganeries.
And I'm out of drink. No more drink. Gonna commit Sudoku! Honest brothers, I will not beg your forgiveness, only pray that by this humble offering of my life that I might absolve the Sekisegumi of the shame I brought upon it through my misdeeds. Activate shenanigans!
What's the meaning of this? That man is an imposter! Seize him at once!
Sus. There they go! Shigura, now's your chance to escape! And will do no such thing. I may have lost what little honor of mine was mine in life, but at least I can reclaim it in death. Ding dong, you are wrong.
Jag get yours, samurai! You need not cut your belly open to say Shigure, for you have the Saburo Sukehiro and the infamous Wolf Bogowaji besides.
But why?
We had a deal, remember? Temporary release, and I'm a wolf of my wood. Yeah, this is indeed the Saburo Sukehiro. Very well, escort the wolf burglar back to his cell and send a runner to Master Akebono's estate at once. We're far from finished, Shigure. The wolf burglar may be in custody once more, but you must still answer for your reckless actions. Therefore, after further deliberation, I've decided that you will conduct a formal investigation to the rumors surrounding Master Akebono and... That will not be... Hold on, I think I know this is...
That will not be necessary. Indeed, with the return of the wolf burglar, I believe we can consider this item affair resolved.
Nope, wrong person.
My Master Commode! Wait, I know you! Master Commodo's guest! The one the gecko threw into the wall.
Oh, surely you must be mistaken. I have no recollection of any such event, or of you for that matter. Anyways, as I said before, I believe there's no need for any further investigation. Should you deem otherwise, you're free to proceed. However, such wasteful expenditures may force us to reconsider the resources we allocate to you and yours next year.
Rest assured, Master Commode, that we value your counsel deeply and should be glad to defer to your judgment. Great, the matter of the Sapporo Tsukihiro Master Akebono is now officially closed. That'll be all.
Man, what a fast investigation. Yes. Oh, yeah. Up. Got the wonky eyes. He needs red eyes. Or dry and itchy eyes.
Barely, I, Hildibrand, agent require Inspector Extraordinaire. What's more done the impossible saved a man from certain death. A shame the others seemed so eager to wash their hands of the affair. Not Chiguri, though. I understand he still has his questions for the wolf burglar.
There it is, the last one.
Well, no, Chiguri, over here.
My friends, I cannot thank you enough. Had you not arrived when you had, I would not be standing before you now. You will forgive me for dispensing with further expressions of gratitude, for I have just returned from the guard where I spoke with the wolf burglar, who shared with me some rather troubling information.
Do not keep us in suspense, my good man. What is it?
Not long after we delivered the wolf burglar into the custody of the Sekisegumi, Masake Poro stormed into the gaol and began berating the donkey, demanding that they return the stolen contents of his safe. I recall that we spoke with Masake Poro concerning these thefts shortly after we first met. It was rather secretive regarding the contents at the time, but the wolf burglar said it was an unmarked satchel filled with the white powder. Cocaine! Given Master Akebono's reputation as a purveyor of medicines, our chivalrous thief resolved to steal it for the benefit of the poor and needy, as is his wont. However, since there was nothing to identify what manner of medicine it was, the wolf burglar decided to hold on to it for safekeeping. Plainly, however, it was no ordinary medicine. Why else would Master Akebono clamor for it so?
My keen inspector senses tingling. Where's the satchel now?
In the possession of the men and women of the waterways. They will not admit this, however, unless we give them the proper password, as above, so below.
Understood. Let us hasten to their den of iniquity.
Peloton, activate!
Oh. That failed.
Imagine not having Peloton. Can you imagine?
Knew you'd lot turn up sooner or later. Didn't expect you'd be bringing along another unfamiliar face, though. Matter, I like the cut of his jib. So, what are you after this time?
A certain satchel containing a certain white powder which once belonged to a certain merchant. Wolf burglar told me you have it.
If he did, then he told you the magic words, too.
Yes, of course they are. Soar above and never go low.
What? Come and take me. No, this is no time for fun games, Inspector. Get low! Get low! Get low! Get low!
And I'll go with the wild rose blue. moves.
Ah, that's it. Nothing personal, but we gotta be careful.
Get down!
There, Divine know what it is, but my gut tells me it's nothing no honest man would keep it a lot safe. That said, a suspicious powder is far from incontrovertible proof of criminal misdeeds. We need to first determine what it is, and that's how we might do so.
With the assistance of a Hanish alchemist or someone versed in their chemical traditions, perhaps someone that has an Aryan consultant. Brilliant minds think alike, for I too reached that conclusion but a moment ago. Did the Thavnarian consultate, my friend? Consulate? Staff house. Here you can't simply go back on the gates of a foreign consulate and... Never mind.
Get down!
And gotta go fast. Well, look at
A little ancient one. He can keep up. Look at him go.
brightens my day. When I have my little H1, I know all is right with the world. So rather sudden, I realize, but to reiterate, it is of the utmost importance that we speak with your superiors.
Reiterate, have you lied appointment or not?
Not as such, so.
And my hands are tied. There are procedures, Samurai, and much paperwork. No exceptions can be made.
Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but this is a matter of public safety and welfare. Surely an exception can be made. Whoa, young man, Roman! Father! There he is! I bring you over to the far side of the world. A complex series of events too exhausting to detail. Of greater importance is what brings us to the consulate. You see, you must needs enlist the assistance of a Hannish alchemist, or one with an encyclopedic knowledge of Hannish regions. Hold on. Alright,
Yeah, unfortunate then that we should chance to meet. I'm a representative of the Sarjata concern of Razat Han, but you know not the name. We trade all manner of alchemical goods. If your quandary requires the expertise of one versed in such wares, pray permit me to assist you. Indeed, to aid the son of Lord Godbert Mandeville and his comrades would be an honor most great.
that is most generous of you. Far be it from us to refuse. Perhaps a change of venue is in order. I say, let us not impose upon these hard-working keepers of their peace any longer. They're just standing there, bro. Bro, they're just standing there. His bounty is most fascinating. An ingredient of Honest Origins, this is true, but not one intended for medicinal purposes. Dangerous purposes, rather. For this reason, its sale is forbidden. The hands of a master alchemist, it can be used to create Duprism.
I'm sorry, Duprism?
A most powerful drug. Mere thimbleful is enough to befuddle the senses and render even the most strong-willed subject susceptible to any and all commands. You may be assured this is not an exaggeration. Resistance is, most regrettably, quite futile. Undetectable it is, save for the occasional glimmer in the eyes, the changing of the color, fleeting and impossible.
By the gummy, I've seen such a glimmer before.
Oh, you quite sure it was not a trick of the light?
I saw it. Held my own 2 eyes. Blindfold be damned. Well, the deuce, my faithful assistant and undying fan. I was just about to voice the same conclusion.
Well, if what you say is true, then a most terrible crime has been committed. Evidence must be gathered and those responsible must be punished.
That makes sense now. Why else would the chief going counter the Sekisegumi press so strongly to end an investigation to a modest merchant? Because he drugged them during their meeting. At last, we have multiple means and opportunity. Come, let us put an end to this once and for all.
How wonderful it is to see Hilda's infectious enthusiasm inspire others to rise to the occasion once more. Well then, do not let me detain you.
And he's off. Just like that. Ah, I was early. Ah, good neck noise, yes.
Okay, Bono, we call on you to come forth and answer for your dastardly deeds.
Doesn't seem like anybody's home, does it?
Where could he possibly be? But that's impossible.
Ha! Thought you'd seen the worst of me, did you? As if I'd content myself with sitting in a gown when I could escape on a whim while you bungle your chairs and bring my nemesis to justice. By escaping on someone else's watch, no one can pin the blame on you this time, eh? Wouldn't want to repeat it before. Don't tell me this was your plan all along, to secure my film so we could expose Capo's crimes together. And we're going to sell more get heroes in your bargain eye. It's no small undertaking and all the help I can get. Now that we're all on the same page, let's be on our way. The bastards bound for the Isle of Becco. Off to meet with a silent partner, I'm told.
Capital, if we hurry perhaps we can beat out Capo to the punch. Let's go.
He may be an idiot, but he's got the right idea. There's no time to waste.
Very well. If that is the way the winds are blowing, let no one say I don't also blow. Phrasing, my guy. My man's phrasing. They're gonna be... might be actually faster. They're the same, so I think let's just go to Tommy. You know, I don't want to use an Aetherite ticket.
So is the right ticket for me.
That's for when I have to spend over 1,000 to get somewhere. Titan.
Sha! This is the place, I'm sure of it. All we have to do is wait.
Comes. Rhymes. Father.
Kami, could it be that the inspector's father is in league with Akebono? Don't be daft, look closer.
As always, your impression of these matters is greatly appreciated.
Ooh. As is yours, Master Akebono.
Pardon.
But to the matter at hand, the duperism. It has served you well, met your expectations, I trust.
This is about to say, never my wildest dreams would I have imagined that drug would be so powerful, so effective. Tasteless, odorless, colorless. The chief coin getter had no idea his drink had been compromised. He has clearly proven to be a most useful tool of manipulating the second Megumi, more than worth the regular upkeep to keep him behind the roll. Now that the Morosuke hero's back where it belongs, I can set my sights on much bigger prizes. Mugiyoshi, perhaps. Imagine Akebono, why not? All who got his mind with the taking.
What am I you know, Master Akebono? I come bearing a gift courtesy of Mandeville and Mandeville, the most illustrious heroes in consortium of which you have doubtless heard. Their resources are considerable and their influence extends far beyond the portals of Aldenod. But all the wealth pales in comparison to what I present to you now. As we discussed, Lord Convert, you will serve Master Akebono faithfully without question, will you not?
But of course.
Tommy for Fenn is under the influence of duperism.
Hildibrand's about to have a Hilda heart attack.
The stress is not good for him. Wait, you fool, now's not the time.
Father, desire your beloved son Hildibrand. Hearken to me, these men are villains, you're being deceived.
Inspector rises, I knew he would. Doubtless your friends are cowering and hiding. Just as well. One fell swoop should bring an end to this farce. I call upon the oysters most fearsome of goldsmith. I call upon the hammer. Go forth and lay waste to these interlopers.
Bruh, listen. You... Oh! Glasses are off. You know shit's real. Too late. You said that at the wrong time, Nakuma.
Oh dear.
Good God! My controller is vibrating! Man, why'd they send me up there? They should have sent this dude to fight Meteon. He would have taken out that bird in one hit.
Magnificent! Finish them all! Finish everyone!
Should have chosen your words more carefully, bruh.
False seal to Brett Hilliard or Maximilian Vanderbilt. Forgive me, Father, but you know not what you do. You're Amanda Vanderbilt!
Beautiful. Heartwarming. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's so heartwarming. It's so. I cry.
Oh! Vanderbilt man! A butt, Father, a butt!
Uh-oh. Oh, my controller's going nuts. Honestly, should have sent Godbird up there into space. Would have handled it no problem.
And I'm spent. What happened here? Well, this is all very embarrassing indeed. Time to purge you from my rather excessive display of martial prowess. Oh, and it should go without saying, but Mandible won't be severing all ties with the Shankar concern. Just, my friend, for you reclaim the Saburo Sukehiro once more. How fortunate that the dastardly Akapono be so loath to set it aside they would rather bring it with them to a secret rendezvous.
A final favor, if you'll indulge me. Weigh in at my father's grave. Right then, I suppose you'll be willing to get me back to the gal. Regardless of the reasons, a crime is a crime and mine are many. I upstairs sexy sick woman like yourself must adhere to a code, no? Indeed I must, which is why it will be with much regret that I inform my superiors I've neither seen neither hide nor hair of the notorious wolf burglar. Huh? You sure about this?
Not if you ask me again. Go to your father. The girl has the right of it. You should be the one to bring your father's spirit the comfort and closure it deserves.
You're mad, each and every one of you, even the samurai. I love you all the more for it. Thank you.
Bye-bye, doggo. He's off. Goodbye, doggo.
Hold fast to a righteous creed, yet recognize when too rigid in it. And adherence would result in greater injustice. Truly, I am privileged to have witnessed this display of nuanced nobility. Would that, like the burglar, I might find a measure of peace and mourn mine own dearly departed. Oh, and Kidu, if only you knew how sorry I am.
He lives.
And Kidu, wow, then what wasn't I that fateful day? Fools, think you this the end? I think not.
Oh. Yo, he's fucking dead. Greg, no. Not Greg.
Huzzah, you belong to me now, Ronin. Now, spirit me away from this place. Far, far, far away. far away? Wahahaha. Yeehaw.
Greg, no, cease your ingress.
Beyond the rift that lies between two wondrous worlds yet unseen. Wait, no.
Mommy, this is going to be worse before it gets better.
Wait for me, Inspector!
There they go. There they go. Into the void. They're off. Oh, there it goes. There he goes, my beloved son. Not content to fly off into the skies before. This time he elects to take his sleep by vanishing into the earth. For sure, time once again, I cannot deny how much he has grown. Both as an inspector extraordinaire and a manful man besides. I say, father cannot be more proud. They easily could have had that transition into a Shadowbringers one, but I guess it wouldn't have worked. Hildibrand would not have worked in Shadowbringers. And off goes Lord Godbert, along with Akebono. I should thank him for that. Nothing left for us but to follow them back to Kugane, I suppose. Are you ready? Good, then let us be off. Oh, pardon me. Pardon. There he is. That son of a gun. Da, 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 da. I cannot even begin to imagine where I would be had I never crossed paths with you, new comrades. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your everything. The Seki Segumi have concluded that even before the chief going counter fell under Akebaru's thrall, he willingly and enthusiastically conspired with the merchant to enlist dance, and so he will be held to account. As for Akebaru and his now defunct enterprise, the Thavnerian consulate has agreed to intercede on behalf of its countrymen to broker a more equitable arrangement between our niche suppliers and the Hinken merchants, or agreed that another monopoly would serve no one's interests. Regardless of their motivations, if their actions put more medicine in the hands of the sick and needy, then I think it is safe to call it a change for the better, don't you? The best part, if you ask me, in light of Akebaru's crimes, all that's owed to him by those forced to pay his exorbitant prices are to be wiped clean. There was a time when I might not have thought as much. Good and evil, the innocent and the criminal. It all seems so simple in the abstract, but out there, in the real world, life is anything but. You and the inspector helped me to understand how naive I was. You taught me to look beyond appearance and hearsay and not be too quick to judge a man for his misdeeds. If I am worthy of the Seki Segumi, it is because of you and him. Speaking of which, what exactly did become an Inspector Hildibrand? Do you think we have to do something, conduct a search, or... You'll be fine. Oh, so this is a regular occurrence, is it? Fair enough. If you are certain that he will turn up eventually, none the worse for wear, then I shall take your word for it and strike all worries from my mind. Should that fateful day ever come that you and he are reunited once more, I but ask that you give him my best regards. I would say the same for the wolf burglar. I wonder how he's doing now. What becomes of a man after that I do not know, but I should like to believe that his father rests more easily this day. Hikari, there's no time to dawdle. Your duties are far from finished. Yes, forgive me right away. I must take my leave. But whenever you are passing through Kukare, I pray that you do not hesitate to call me here at the barracks. Da 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 da. He did it. He won. That's all the Stormblood Hildibrand. I can't wait to see Hildibrand again. Bring back Hildibrand, you cowards. Man, I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to do that, the Kukane jumping puzzle. I can't even do the one at Ranzan, which is apparently much easier. Ready for another groove? The final groovening? Beautiful. Beautiful. You better return. You better. And that is gonna mark the end of my stream. Of the stream for the night. Thank you for the pets. Thank you for the pets. Yeah, you know, I didn't think the stream would actually take... I didn't think I'd be streaming for this long, but we managed to do all of Hildibrand. I think the next thing of things I'm going to revisit in Final Fantasy VII is going to be the Alexander raids. I could probably solo most of the fights are going unsync, but we'll see. Wait, thank you all for joining. I'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Take care. Bye-bye.
My final message.